What's good, e-bikers? This is the Golden Retriever from the strangely named Puckipuppy e-bike company. It's a dual suspension, dual motor e-bike that goes for $18.99. So I think of it as kind of a sort of entry-level e-sales type of e-bike, being that it has both motors on the front and rear and dual suspension, and it kind of has that mountain bike style frame that you've seen a lot on those more expensive e-bikes. But this one's $18.99, comes in this bright orange here, comes in black and red, blue and gray, and a gray and a camo color as well. So let's get into the specs. I'll tell you more about what this e-bike has to offer. When it comes to the battery, it's underneath here on the e-bike. The key is on the other side of this. It's a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery. They claim it's good for about 40 to 80 miles of range. It's probably closer to 40, being that's a dual motor e-bike. It comes with a 2 amp charger included, and it'll take about 10 hours to charge this battery from dead. The controller is located in the back here, the rear behind the seat post and suspension. This is a 20 amp controller, so this is not a fast e-bike. Top speed is 28 miles an hour, and on the throttle it's 20 miles an hour only. Here's a look at the front motor. The front motor is 640 watts peak, while the rear motor is 960 watts peak. So I'm guessing they're 750s. Maybe that's a 750 and a 500 up front. But it comes with total peak wattage of 1600 watts total. And they claim the peak torque on the e-bike is 185 newton meters. That seems a bit high for what's pretty basic motors back there, but we'll put it to the test on my street ride. When it comes to gearing, we have these pro wheel cranks up here. I think it's a 42 or 46 tooth chain ring, not very big. And back here we got a basic Shimano turning derailleur. Shimano cassette back there. It's probably just 14 to 28 teeth. This is a cadence sensor e-bike, so no torque sensor. And we're looking at 7 speeds up here on the ubiquitous shifter. When it comes to sizing of the e-bike, this bike weighs 93 pounds. It is 74 inches long, 32-inch standover height. Rider heights they list as 5'4" to 6'6". That seems a little short to me. This is a big guy e-bike. I mean, the minimum seat height is about 35 inches, so it goes up to about 39. It's a pretty short seat post as well. It's only about 10 inches long total. And yeah, so I think it's more of a big guy e-bike. Payload capacity is about 400 pounds overall. When it comes to suspension, we have a pretty big fork up front here. It says 135 millimeters of travel. And you have lockout with different levels of that lockout, as well as preload here on the left side. You got a little rubber band there to show you the travel of that front fork. And back here, there's a Puckipuppy branded mid shock here on this 4-link suspension here. Pretty thick. It's pretty beefy overall, and I don't think this thing should break at all. It's definitely pretty beefy and should do the trick going over all those bumps on the trails. As far as styling goes, it's a pretty nice looking e-bike, even with that bright orange color. I was joking when I first got it, I should go to a construction site and be like a flagman and just stand out there with my e-bike and the stop sign, because this thing will get attention for sure. People can see you coming when you're riding this thing down the road. So the looks are great. Comfort's pretty good too. It comes with a huge seat here. This thing is almost a foot long. I'd say it's a good 11 inches wide. So it's a big comfort seat. It's a little too big for me. I'm more of a skinny guy, so I prefer a little bit smaller seats. But big guys will like that. And the handlebars have a nice kind of upsweep to them, very subtle upsweep. So it reaches pretty good. And here's a look at the side of the handlebars. So pretty nice overall. And again, that suspension, front and rear, will keep things smooth. As far as your lighting package goes, you have a front and rear light. There's a light button right here. Just press that. Indicator comes on the display. And it's just a dual little light up here front. There you go. And you have a rear tail light as well. A rear brake light. And you can see that tail light light up when I hit the brakes. When it comes to tires and brakes, you got 180 rotors back here. These are rocking Logan hydraulic disc brakes on front and rear. Pretty nice setup there. They are pretty grippy. And I do like Logans. They've been pretty good to me over the years with various e-bikes. So 26x4, just plain old black knobby tires with a nice off-trail or off-road tread. All right, here's a look at your handlebars. Of course, you got your locking grips up here. Here's your right side thumb throttle, Logan hydraulic disc brake levers. Shimano SIS 7-speed shifter. And here you got your dual drive and your single drive toggle switch, and your main control unit here, power button up and down, and your light. The display itself is pretty basic. I've seen it's on all the e-bikes that Puckipuppy has. Not the greatest display, because this is your battery level here. It's very saggy. There's no percentage. There's no voltage here. So you really have to kind of guess where your battery's at a little bit. That's one of my main complaints about the Puckipuppy is this display overall. So now let's go take this thing on the road, do a ride test, do a speed test, hill test, test out the brakes, do my downhill coast, and we'll put this thing through its paces. So let's go. All right, let's kick it into the dual drive here. You get that 20 miles an hour limit. Not sure about the settings of this one. I haven't gone into them yet, so. All right, this is the perfect proving ground for an e-bike like this. I'm gonna drop it down to PS2. It's pretty rattly. You hear that chain slap. The suspension is pretty stiff overall. Let me just double check my. So that's locked. That's open. Okay. Alright, I'm in dual drive here, so we'll do a little course through this neighborhood woods I got. I'm barely pedaling this thing. It's climbing at 11-12 miles an hour. Got a little down with the kids back here, like put all these jumps in. I'm not that adventurous. Some of those jumps are pretty high. I don't think they're riding e-bikes on them. Here's one here. Ooh, pedal scrape. Boom. Whoa. I almost lost it there. Again, this is a heavy e-bike, 93 pounds, so you're, and I'm leaned over a bit, so I really feel that weight going over bumps on your forearms. Drop the gears down. I think that rear fender is bouncing a little bit. But, yeah, this thing is made for off-roading, so if that's the kind of riding you want to do, this is the kind of bike to get. Alright, the display in this e-bike is pretty dull looking in the sunlight, so it is a little hard to read, but alright, let's bump this up to PS5. And we'll do a speed test here. Dual motor. There's 20, there's 20. Pretty quick to 20. Feel that power come on. 25, 26, 27, 28 on the GPS, 29 on GPS. Nice. The bike says 31. GPS says 29. I got up there pretty quick, so it should with two motors, right? So I give it a thumbs up on the speed. Again, throttle only goes to 20 though, so. All right, hill test time. Here we go. And this thing should eat hills with two motors, so. Oh man, this is School bus ahead. I gotta stop. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so school bus alerts. I'm doing 14, 15 climbing speed here. 17 or 16. Okay, here's where it gets steeper. I don't think we'll go below 12 here. 14. There's 13. Bike says 13.1. Okay, we hit 12. And we're going to crest that. The bike said 12.1. It said 11, so it's about 11.9. I'll call it 12. Round up there. And let's do the really steep part up here. See how good it is on that. Got a car coming. Alright. Let's see how it does in this 15% grade. 8. That's it. 8 miles an hour. That rattan did it at 4 or 5. And my electric expedition did it at, I think, 6 or 7. So, not bad. Yeah, if you have tons of hills in your area, like I see the value of a dual motor e-bike like this, because it just eats hills. Try the brakes. Oh, little shudder there. That was interesting. That back just kind of like shuddered to a stop. Let's coast with no power and see how she does. See how stable it is. I think the bike's pretty balanced overall here. Going downhill here. Sitting upright. It's got good balance to it. All right, 2 hands on the brakes. Let's do this. We're at 22, 24, 26, 28. You know, it's getting there. It's so heavy that it's not going to be a fast downhill. 28, 29, okay, 30, 31, 32. Yeah, 32 is about it. Get those brakes again. All right, little fishtail there at the end. All right, there's your Golden R from Puckipuppy. So let's talk about likes and dislikes and give you my thoughts here. So who's the bike for, first of all? So if you can't afford a bike like an E-Cells or a Wired Freedom and you want that dual motor, dual suspension kind of look, this is an affordable e-bike at $18.99. So I'll put a link in the description. Definitely, use that link if you do want to buy one of these. Comes some cool colors as well. I like the black and the red one. Pretty nice. It's like a dark red with some black accents, so it's pretty nice looking. What's wrong with this bike? Well, let's see. The gearing, it's got basic gearing back here. That's Shimano Tourney. Definitely need a bigger chain link there. I put like a 52 tooth on there and see if that improves the ghost pedaling a bit. Once you get past 22 miles an hour, you do start to spin your legs there as the cadence sensor just ramps up and gives you more power. What else? The display is something that, again, I'm not a fan of. I can barely see it in the sunlight here. Maybe there's a setting for brightness, but again, I haven't. It should come, as bright as possible, in my opinion. You got some bosses down here. Nice touch. You got a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery. That's a good thing. The suspension works pretty well. It does feel pretty stiff, though. I wouldn't call it. It's not as loose as that electric X-Peak front suspension is, but overall, though, the mid shock works pretty well. I think I showed you some footage of that. You sitting on it, and again, if you have dual motors, this thing climbs, and it will keep on climbing once you give it a hill. So lighting's pretty good. Cable management's okay. There's a lot of wires up front there, and I had to put on the rack when I got the bike, as well as the light back here. I gotta fix that cable a little bit more, but it's a pretty nice bike, other than the name, which is a bit strange, the brand name, but it is a pretty nice looking e-bike, and this linkage down here and this the way the center C-post, you should call it, is, I like that kind of cage look. That's pretty cool. There's your controller back here. Again, a 20 amp controller, so not a fast bike. Comes as a class 2, although it should say class 3 because it came as, came 28 miles an hour, so I'm not sure why it says class 2. But heavy bike too, so another con possibly for some of you out there. But again, any dual motor e-bike is going to be heavy, so keep that in mind. But check it out. Hope you like it. I'll see you on the next crisscross, guys. I'm going to do some more riding on this thing. Let's go.